for posterity. So thanks for joining, Bella. So I guess we'll just go over the agenda and jump right into it, huh?
Yep.
Okay. All right then. So we got. Okay, so we're finishing up sprint 28 ends today. So we're going into the next sprint 29. We'll talk a little bit about that. So we do have one thing to show you coming out of the sprint that ends today, which is a member shouldn't be able to edit their application once the application has been approved. So I guess they were able to edit before, even though the application had already been approved. So I'll show you what that looks like. And then we'll talk about work in process. But let me go ahead and demo that real quickly, just so you know it's real. So here I'm logged in on my own local machine, but we'll move this to production this week. I'm logged in as the SHF admin here. So I'm looking at this application from this person. And you can see that the application status is waiting for payment.
Waiting for applicant.
Waiting for applicant, excuse me. Waiting for information from the applicant is shorthand, really, is what it's saying. And here's the applicant over here. I'm logged in as the applicant himself, Wilford here. And so if I go under the menu and click my application, I actually see that I can still edit my application because it's not accepted yet. So I'm going to go away, and as the admin, I'm going to go ahead and cancel the waiting state, and I'm going to go ahead and accept this application. So I've accepted it, and it says, it notifies me that it has, in fact, been approved or accepted. And now on the client, I come back the next day. I'll just refresh my screen to make sure that we're in good shape there. And then I will click on my application, and you can see now it's read-only.
And
So
if you add the address in the URL /redigera, that's how I got there last time.
Which address?
To the edit page.
If you add edit, but in Swedish, which is...
I see. So what is it? R-E-G, right?
You had it down there.
I had it showing up, didn't I? Yeah. This one here. Yep, there we go. You don't have permission to do this.
Good.
So you can't hack your way in there either. So.
That's what was working before.
Mm-hmm. So that's pretty much it, Bella. Not much to see there, but it's something that needed to be done. If that's the design, that they can't edit the application.
Yes, because otherwise they could add like doggy daycare or whatever once they were approved.
Other services that they're certified for, etc. Yeah. Or they want to be.
Yeah.
They want a fake certification for. So that's that. Let me do away with this. Let me get back to where we were.
Bella, did that make sense? Do you have any questions?
No questions. It makes sense, and it's really good that you notice it that and make it not to be possible.
So can we just hit the accept button then, Bella?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. In terms of overall work, this, we didn't do just that one story. So you see these green things? These are things that we've already completed, but they're not things visible to you, so we're not necessarily, we don't need to show them to you. And I think some of these we actually saw last meeting. Some of these were completed at the client before the prior client meeting. And then we've also got a bunch of things that we're working on right now, but the developer for each story hasn't clicked finish, which means it's ready to be reviewed for the team. Or we haven't reviewed it as a team and clicked finish. The only one that we are working on that's visible to you amongst these is the payment processing. And so that's still underway. So that's what we're going to talk about right now, in fact. So before we go into payment processing in particular, we did some changes with respect to business rules, Bella. And so what we've done is, what we had before is the application review process had also embedded in it a payment step. So we had a review process for an application, but we also had payment process, which was tied into the application review process. So what we've done is we've separated those. So we have an application review process that doesn't involve payment, And then we have the payment transaction itself. And the payment transaction itself now occurs for a user who wants to become a member after there is an acceptance of at least one application by that user. So the pay member fee button that we saw in the demo last time, that only appears for the user if they have an application in accepted status. The status review process, the application review process itself, though, no longer involves this step of waiting for payment before the application can be approved. We go ahead and review the application. We review it based upon the information provided, and then the user can pay the membership fee. The user is not made a member, though, until both of these happen. The application has been accepted and the user has paid the membership fee. When both of those have happened, then the user is marked as a member. So minor change to what we saw before, because the demo from 2 weeks ago was we showed payment of the membership fee while the application was still in waiting for payment status. So that's changed. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. And I think everybody agrees that that probably is the best way for the process to proceed. Let's see. So we've got, based upon those changes, we've still got some more work to do in the future. We'll come back and tell you when we're done. One is the approval process right now still has the waiting for payment step. So that obviously has to be removed from the application review process. The other thing we wanted to mention, we'll talk about this more in the future when we actually implement it. We're going to change what we're calling the membership application. We're just going to call it application. There's a lot of noise in the background there.
Yeah, I have two girls here. If you consider as a German Shepherd, but they are girls, so two girls at 25 kilos each, and they are so happy to be with me here.
Well, that's a happy sound then. That's great.
Yeah, and it's not me.
Oh, no problem. No, we didn't.
So
we like that noise.
yeah, my dog was part, that icon you see from my picture, she was part German Shepherd. It was great.
Yeah.
And I've learned the Swedish for that. Klaffer.
Oh, that's good.
That's it. Okay, now we've talked about dogs. We can keep going.
Yeah, that's great. So, Bella, what we realized when we really thought about it is that an application for SHF can occur in 3 different situations. One is, as we've talked about, for a user who wants to become a member. So they have an application that you guys review and approved and paid, they become a member, right? So that's one situation involving an application. The other is a user or a member, somebody who's already a member, they want to register with a second company because they want to do work for a second company as well. So that's an application. It's not a membership application because they're already a member, but they want to be just registered with another company, a second company. And the third situation is when the user, their membership started a year ago, is now to be renewed. So they need to renew their membership by paying another membership fee. So only one of these 3 situations involves somebody becoming a membership, using the application to become a membership. So calling this thing a membership application didn't make any sense when only one of the 3 situations involves becoming a member using that application. So that's why we're making that change. And it's less important the name change, it's more the thought behind, you know, what is the application used for? And we need to make sure that the system accommodates these 3 situations. And oh, by the way, the name itself is misleading, given what the application is used for. So that's why we bring it up to you.
Nice.
Is that
yeah, who realized this?
Well, we find that this stuff is it looks simple on the outside until you start thinking it through in more detail.
Yeah.
Then these kinds of things pop up and you realize it's more complicated than you thought. So that's that. So that makes sense to you, right, Bella?
Yes, because you have thought about the future. I mean, not only when we're starting, just when we have been running for a couple of years, what's happening and like that. So it's nice, yeah.
Yep, exactly. That's part of what we struggle with is, you know, talking about stuff we need to do today, but we're thinking about a year from now, what happens if this situation comes. So, yep. So we'll be coming back to you and Susanna as well, of course, as part of the conversation all the time about how we make the system respond to these situations correctly. So, all right, so just a quick update on a couple of things. One is payment processing. So as I said before, the basic workflow for payment processing, which I demoed, is working, and I've changed that to reflect the business rule changes about separation of application and payment. So that's been incorporated now in the logic. We're still using just credit cards to test. As you know, as we talked, we really need to go live or a production account to test the other two types of payments. So that hasn't changed. At this point, the code is ready for team review. So we've got the team looking at the code. That's what we do for all of these things that we put in production, Bella. A developer develops it, and then the rest of the team reviews it and requests changes or recommends, suggests changes, things like that. So that's what's happening right now. So the target at this point is for us to be ready to move that code to production after the next client meeting. By ready to move to production means that the team reviewed it, all the changes have been made, and from a development team point of view, we're ready to go. So moving into production requires two things. One is you have to accept it, so we'll have to show it to you again, and you either accept it or tell us to do more work on it. And also your organizational readiness, you and Susanna, because obviously we can't just put it in production without communicating to the user base.
Well, we could, but nobody would know about it.
Yeah, it wouldn't be polite. All of a sudden, yeah. So anyway, there's that. I don't know if you want to start thinking about it over the next 2 weeks, the folks in SHF, about getting the communication ready.
We're supposed to have a board meeting soonish, so hopefully that will happen within the coming 2 weeks. Then we can talk about that there.
Great opportunity for that. Yeah, perfect. So related to this, fellow, we talked about Swish. Where are you at with getting Swish set up for us?
And that status is connected to the board meeting. We should just discuss it there and take a decision. So hopefully in 2 weeks, as Susanna said.
I thought you said that you only needed Ulrika's approval. You didn't need the whole board to approve it.
Yeah, right? I know. We needed to be 2 persons. I have made mine, and then Ulrika needed to do it also. And then she raised the question that shouldn't we discuss it in the group.
So that changed then. I see. Okay. All right. Well, we'll wait for the board meeting then.
Yeah, it's not a showstopper. It's more that the information that everybody is knowing what's happening.
Yep. Yeah, I gotcha. It's more of an awareness thing.
Yes.
I'm sure nobody's going to say no, I wouldn't think. And also, what we're going to be doing now is, now that we've got it somewhat in fairly decent shape, we're going to start next work on the H branding thing. And our target for that is to get that ready and in production by the end of the year, and hopefully significantly before the end of the year. And so we should have some rough thing to demo, at least maybe rough thing to demo by our next client meeting on H branding. Probably ready to go from the developer point of view, but maybe before the team review and all of that occurs. So we'll have something to talk about there. And that's it for payment processing. On Dinkors, we've done a little bit of work. Ashley, do you want to update us on Dinkors? You've been doing the work there.
Sure. I just started, or let me back up. The goal will be to get events from Dinkors. So if somebody's logged into Dinkors and put in their upcoming training classes, we want to be able to show that on the SHF site. And the goal, of course, is that we want visitors to come to the SHF site and have all the information for a company there or a person. So we'll be able to pull that. Our goal is to be able to pull those events, like training classes, from Dinkors. And that will be pretty straightforward. Sorry, I'm hearing a little echo. I hope not too bad.
I'm hearing it too.
So that is straightforward. And then going from there, whether we, well, so that's the first goal. And then we'll work on that and see how that goes. So I've got that first step going, the foundation, and then we'll work. The next step is to be able to make it look nice for the users. So hopefully that will make the SHF membership happy, because that will be something they can see and be really obvious.
So I just as a footnote as well, Bella, Susanna has recruited, I think, 3 people who have expressed interest in Dinklers to work with us on what it should look like, what capabilities it should have, how they want it presented, how it might integrate with information they enter directly into SHF site for their own events that they don't put in Dinklers. So we have almost, it's too formal to call that a working group of users, but there's 3 people who've raised their hand to work with us on that, which is extremely helpful rather than us trying to make it up in our head.
Or Susanna doing all of it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I know Susanna made a comment on that on Facebook group, and it was really large interest on this from the members. So yes, it's really good that we are starting to work with this.
Yeah, and I think Susanna, you can correct me, I thought she also asked, do you have any ideas on what you want to do with this integration? And I don't think a lot of people had ideas initially, but that's usually the case. What happens when you start developing stuff that users can see on a screen, then the ideas really start coming out. But people really need to have to see something to engage better in coming up with things like that. Okay, good. So that's it. We also talked, before we get into questions for you, Susanna, did you just want to update Bella on our conversation on the proof of membership stuff that we were talking about today? Or I can.
Medlemskortet. We decided to have that in a digital form by the next year. And we have sort of forgotten to do that.
That's nice. That will save us some money.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's maybe so we have Dinklers and payment, and after payment, we'll pivot to Dinklers as well as worrying about that electronic version of that. So that should help as well. And also reduce work and sending stuff out. Related to, so Susanna, you might want to talk about this. You found out for the HIPS account that you need this thing, this IBAN.
Either Bankgiro or IBAN. They don't have a Postgiro alternative.
Yeah. You want me to send it to you?
Yes.
Yes. I make a note about that, and we'll do that later.
Cool.
Do you have to create a whole new bank account for that?
No, probably not.
No, I believe we have the information already. So.
Oh, okay. So this is more of a bank account IBAN routing number or something?
Yeah.
Than a whole new bank account? Okay. All right. Well, that's easy then.
It's like the international address to your bank account.
Yeah. That's like, yeah, exactly. Sounds like it. Okay. Good. Well, I'll fix this question. I got that question wrong. It's not an account. All right. So that's pretty much it. Short meeting this time, Bella. But any other thing occurred to you regarding the system that we should be aware of since we last talked?
No questions. It seems that you are doing a good work anyway, so it sounds always so interesting to hear your plans. I mean, today I heard a lot about both payment and Dinklers, and yeah.
Yeah, we're ambitious. We want to make this a world-class site, right? So that
Yeah,
we're proud of it.
I have no doubts that you're going to succeed with.
Well, as long as you're on our team, we'll be able to do it.
I was thinking, when Karo was here, I remember that Karo is very. She thinks it's very, 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 very important that you keep a log of your clients. I think it's actually in our bylaws that if you're a dog psychologist, you should keep log of your clients. I was thinking if we could build that into the system in a very far away future, so that if you're, or maybe as a sister system for the vets and the physiotherapists and the dog psychologists and things, to have a journal system. Just a thought to put out there.
Can be a little bit tricky. I mean, it's quite many laws that involves if you store information about people. So yeah,
Privacy. But knowing that information is needed by a member, some way to remind or prompt them even. Good.
Okay, well, something to think about then. So I guess the last thing then, Bella, is when the next meeting is. We're normally on a Tuesday cycle, right?
yes.
So 2 weeks from tomorrow would be the 28th. Would that work for you?
One moment.
My calendar already says there is a meeting there, but at 9 o'clock instead of 8 o'clock.
The 28th,
Oh, boy. 28th, yeah.
9 o'clock. 9 o'clock I can. Otherwise, I will be on the traffic school with my daughter.
Uh-huh.
Oh, do we need?
Yeah.
Would you rather do it on a Monday? On Monday then, the 27th? Would that be better for you?
It would be better because then I don't have two items that can.
Yeah, we don't want to jam it up too much. So Monday, the 27th. What time? This
That time.
This time here. Okay.
But the time you sent out earlier was 1 hour later.
What time did I send
Yeah.
out?
The whole UTC thing.
You sent out 8 o'clock UTC time.
Oh, I did. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, so 2 weeks from today, then, same time, we'll connect up again. Go where we're at, and at some point this week we'll move in. Not that it's a big deal to you or anybody, but we'll move in that story that we accepted about member not being able to edit their application. Probably we'll do that Thursday, or actually we could even do it today after this call if we want. So that'd be good. All right. Okay, Bella. Well, we'll let you get back to your girls and have a short.
Yes,
You
they
wanna-
would like to have dinner now, so yes.
Yeah.
You want to? You could show us your girls if you wanted. If you wanted to share your screen, but and then yeah, via the webcam. And then we can get Susanna's dogs to come to the screen and they can start barking at each other. The
That
whole
can be a
Have them
little.
turn on the
all
screen.
hell break loose. What's that?
The webcam there. One of my friends has a German Shepherd Pyrenees mix.
Can you see them?
No.
Can't see. It's black. You turned on screen sharing.
Or not screen sharing, your
Oh, no,
camera.
screen sharing. Your camera. Yeah, I'm sorry. So,
That's okay.
so at the top of the page, the middle icon there, it looks like a camera with a slash through it. If you click
Yeah,
on
and
that, you'll
it's
turn
on.
it. It is on.
Yeah, now
Okay.
now it's on. Yeah. Oh dear, I see myself.
There.
Oh, good. There you are. Oh, look at these.
Here, my girls.
Hey.
Oh,
How old are they?
They are the breed Shosky Pess. They are almost 2 years.
look at those eyes. Oh,
So they're still puppies then.
Yeah.
They're
Oh,
teeny.
they're beautiful.
What's their
Yeah.
names?
This is Nessie, and this is Bambi.
Cute.
Are you dog sitting, or are these your dogs?
My dogs. I have 7 dogs.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
My
Oh,
friend's
that's good.
Shepherd Pyrenees mix was so smart that when you did something like open a gate, you needed to make sure to hide it. Otherwise, he would figure it out and then open it up, himself.
Yes.
Wow.
This girl can open doors. Yeah.
Yeah, they're so smart. That's what my girl Mandy was, just really very smart. So, all right, go feed them.
Oh yeah.
I will do that.
All
Have a
right. Well,
nice
thank you very
evening.
much. You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care. Bye now.